I don't think me and Lorenzo are the most grounded people on earth, but that's a whole different conversation. We are tired. We're a bit hungover from last night.
I would have missed on so much if I was living alone.
Here in Denmark.
What is the thing you like the most about Umeås? Because I heard yesterday there was like a little party.
Oh, there was a little party.
On.
We had corporate hell as our theme, you know.
Maybe we can insert some pictures.
Yeah, that would be great. We took a lot of good pictures yesterday. Anyway, they had this midsummer theme, which was super nice. Like Swedish, and everyone was wearing like these white dresses and...
That's a test.
No, this is it!
This is it!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pilot episode of the You, Me, Us, Umeås, Umeås, however you want to say it, it doesn't matter. The point is, it's you, it's us. Well, it's you, me, us, that's true, I kind of fucked it up. And we're all together. And today we want to introduce you...
Angle. It's not angling. How do you even start a podcast?
That's a good question, Ellie. What would you want to start with?
I would start by introducing who we are and what we're doing here. Idea. What is Umeås?
Let's not act like people don't know who we are in advance, though, right? It's probably good to like be a little bit humble in the beginning of the podcast. You want to start, Ellie? What's your name? Where are you from?
I think you should start.
Did I start?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you guys know me in advance. My name is Matteo. I grew up here in Copenhagen, Denmark, but I have a very international background with a father from Italy and a mom who's half Thai, half American. So I've lived overseas a couple times as well for very short periods, like 6 months in Houston, Texas. Shout out to Houston.
I had no idea you were in Houston, Texas.
I'm just making this up right now for the podcast. No. Oh. I have lived there for 6 months.
You're good with camera, actually.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Unfortunately.
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 Unfortunately, I have to give you a compliment. I've grown up here in Copenhagen, so I'm one of the few, Danish natives here at Umeås. But yeah, it's been a pleasure living here so far. Ellie?
Mm-hmm. Hi, my name is Ellie, and I actually came to Copenhagen this August. And I am studying a master at CBS.
Only CBS?
By entrepreneurship, but the first year is at KU because we do we're guest students at KU. And it's called by entrepreneurship if anyone is interested. And I come from Spain, Catalonia more specifically.
Yes.
I've been studying in Barcelona and I had never been in Copenhagen before deciding to move here. So that's a bold move, maybe.
Very bold move. What made you want to move here? What was the triggering decision? Because I remember seeing one of your TikToks. Shout out if you don't know she has one. It's a very good one. I'm sure we'll link it somewhere up here on the camera. But you said something about like taking this chance in life and then all of a sudden you find yourself here and you had all these nice little pictures of Copenhagen. So what made you like take that decision to come here?
Well, in my case, it's a little bit complicated. There have been many reasons. There have been many like triggers. The main reason was that I knew people that did the master that I'm doing because they work from my bachelor, and I've been like creeping into LinkedIn of everyone that was doing my studies and seeing what they're doing because I had no idea what to do. Mm-hmm. And so I found this program and I was like, that sounds interesting because I studied biotechnology and I knew I didn't want to pursue like a lab career. I wanted something that had more to do with talking to people and
like this.
Maybe, yeah. So what I did was look into LinkedIn and I found that people were doing the school program. I was like, okay, that's done in Copenhagen. And then it was also in the time that, maybe not in the time that Copenhagen was being like trendy.
Did you see anything about Copenhagen on social media?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I also saw something about Copenhagen in social media and that. It's like, that's a cool place.
Yeah.
And then I've always heard that it was such a nice city when it comes to work-to-life balance and yeah, like just the whole vibe and values that Scandinavian people have, but more especially in Copenhagen because it's like not so like up in north. Mm-hmm. It's still like
yeah, okay.
I don't know. Like it kind of felt like a good place. I just felt it.
Yeah.
And awesome. Then there was also another thing about I don't know if I should tell this on the internet.
No, you should.
Oh, maybe I should.
We don't have a million viewers yet, but maybe if we do in the future, we can show this like the OG clip that made us famous. You know?
Well, let's say that there was like a guy that I was interested in.
Oh! Now it's getting interesting.
Why am I selling my life?
I know his name. It was the guy who said, no, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna
we don't know his name.
We'll put his Instagram in the bio though. So check.
The thing is, I already knew before that I like this master and I like this city, but I knew that he was gonna study here. So it's like, maybe I should like put more, points to that location.
So you had other things in mind as well, other like educations, maybe in other countries or?
Yeah, I had other countries like Sweden, Germany, what else? Netherlands. I knew that I didn't want to go live long term outside of Europe right now.
Good decision. We're also a political podcast, so we're gonna get into that.
What?
As we're also a political podcast.
Political podcast, indeed.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was like kind of my main points. But obviously, like I didn't move here because anyone in particular. But it's true that at some point that kind of like leads me a little bit there. Yeah. But then like nothing happened with this guy. And never when I moved here, like nothing. Like we have contact sometimes, but like I don't like him anymore, and it's fine. Like that's not a big deal. And I the thing is that I already had good motives to come here that were not a person.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
guys, don't move here because of things.
But you're happy
crush.
you came here then?
Yeah,
because
I
it
am
ended up
happy.
being a super good experience, right?
I am happy.
So far.
It has been, okay, it looks like you're interviewing me right now, but
No,
maybe
I'm
that's the whole
doing an
point.
interview.
I think this happens with everywhere, but when you move somewhere new, you think, especially if you have idealized that place, you think, oh, it's gonna be like what I had in my mind through the whole time, but no matter how cool the place is, it all reaches a point where you're like, this is normal life, and you get into a routine, and that like, not excitement, because I feel like that's something you can work on if you have like fun plans going on. It's not always like, oh, I live in Copenhagen, it's so amazing, it's so aesthetic, you need to remind yourself sometimes, I live in Copenhagen, this is like what I wanted to do for so long.
That's great.
Yeah,
This is Ellie,
that's
everyone.
me.
Now that we're on the topic of coming to Copenhagen, well, I really
Well, because you were born and raised in Copenhagen.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know if you know my life story.
I don't know your life story.
That's
actually.
crazy. I know her, she doesn't know mine. Well, maybe I didn't know yours either.
But now, like, your parents, like, you said that you were a bit of a mix.
Yeah, that's true.
But, like, you were born here. Have you...
I was indeed.
Like,
yeah, it's a very interesting
How does
story.
it feel as a Dane to live in Umeå, surrounded by
internationals everywhere? Yeah. I mean, obviously I feel Danish, given that I've always lived here, or at least the majority of my life. But I think the fact that I grew up with parents from different countries, so quite different values maybe, and ways of raising me than would be like the traditional Danish ones, I think that also has sort of impacted the way that I sort of view the world, and maybe also interact with people here that are international. Not to say that Danish people would do it any differently, but I think that's quite a nice mix, you know, to have an international background. Pretty unique. I don't exactly know the distribution, but I feel like we're quite few Danes here in the dorm, right? Maybe like 15, 20%.
I think my kitchen, because in Umeås you can have like shared kitchen and your own kitchen. So in my kitchen, I have, I think maybe we're 15, maybe like 5 are Danish or like 4. I think 4.
That's like 30%-ish. Yeah. That's not too bad. But also a lot of people ask me like, how come I live here if I'm Danish?
Yeah,
As
exactly.
if it's like only for
Why
internationals.
does it work? Like this country, it's so random. Like your family lives here, but you live in a dorm completely like independent.
Having most people in the podcast as well. That's good. That's good. We need to have some representation here. You know what I mean? We can check who it is afterwards. I didn't get to see it. No, but I think it's a question of like I lived in a different place before with some roommates. That was a Danish friend of mine. Well, he was like part Italian, part Norwegian, but also Danish. And we lived in this place in Vestamager, which if you know, the metro all the way out, far out station. It's not too bad with the transportation. It takes like 15 minutes to get to the city, but it is a bit far out. And we lived there beforehand, and then he had to move to Milan to go study there. His name is Lorenzo. Shout out. We'll put him in the bio as well. He's single as well if you want to look that up. And then I had to find something else. And I know like back when I moved in with him back in 2022, we also considered Umeås at the time. This wasn't existing obviously, but the one in Nordhavn, we considered that one. And I had a Danish friend actually who lived there at the time. So I think it was just very natural to me, and I wanted to live in a place where you could have like the social thing, get to know a lot of people, but still have your own like private studio with like the bathroom and everything. So I think Umeås offered me like the perfect solution of being in sort of the international sphere, which I also am at when I'm at CBS, and I was also studying in English high school and stuff like this. So this like combines everything that I need.
Your parents live in this city?
My dad lives abroad. He lives in Brazil. My mom lives in Denmark, but outside of Copenhagen.
I guess in Spain it would be unthinkable that you live, for example, your parents live in Barcelona.
Yeah.
It would be unthinkable that you
live in a dorm.
Live somewhere else, unless you were like fully independent, like full-time job with your
like
partner or whatever. Like as a student, like it would be so strange. Even like people who have full-time jobs still don't have like.
But that's also the culture thing, right?
You know?
Here in Copenhagen, where people they move out and they live alone at a very early age. Where I feel like Italy and Spain, it's a bit different. Like people live at home.
It's so hard for people to emancipate. What is the thing you like the most about Umeås? Because I heard yesterday there was like a little party.
No, there was a little party.
On.
You heard about it, or you were there? I'm pretty sure you were at the same party as I was at, right? Exactly.
Yes. So what did we do? There was something called
we had
Tour de Chambre.
Tour de Chambre. You speak French now as
Tour
well.
de
It's
Chambre.
I just learned this before we started recording. It's amazing. No, we had this super nice kitchen event that we had been planning for some time with your kitchen, my kitchen,
and another kitchen.
So it was across different floors. I live on the 5th floor, penultimate penthouse.
And I live on the 3rd floor.
Exactly. We have a ranking order here at Umeå, so like the best people.
Yeah, what do you think about the like floors?
I think it's great that I live that high. I mean,
do you think there's like a social ranking? Okay, the other day I was talking to a friend and we were like, certain people look like they're from certain floors. Like, you just look and you're like,
I look at like I'm
floor.
the 7th floor, which doesn't even exist, but like I just live at the rooftop, right? I wouldn't say so, because if we're bringing in another guy who lives here, a very wonderful guy, his name is Lorenzo from your kitchen. I mean, he lives on the 3rd floor, but I would definitely look at him and think he's like the 10th floor, right? So I think, yeah.
But who says the 10th floor is better than 1st? Maybe 1st is more grounded. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying right now.
I don't think me and Lorenzo are the most grounded people though on earth, but that's a whole different conversation. No, but let's send it back to the party though, because now we're getting off track. The party was great.
Yeah.
What was the party? What did we do?
So what we did is we decided that we needed some adventure, and we were used to the typical parties that were just like
Friday night hangouts and
sit on a table, you get your drinks, and nothing happens. I mean, things happen obviously, but like, you know. Like,
obviously, she loved the first couple of parties that she had the first
tired.
few months. No, we are tired. We're a bit hungover from last night. But that's true though. This was different because we spent like 1 month like planning, getting stuff ready in the group chat, and
our theme was decided 30 seconds before.
Yeah. Okay. Well, other kitchens had more, focus on making sure that.
But what is a Tour de Chambre? Because maybe some people don't know what it is.
No.
Maybe they want to do it in other kitchens.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've done it a few times at CBS as well. We're CBS fellow students. It just comes down to visiting each other, right? So we started in one kitchen. Anyway, they had this midsummer theme, which was super nice, like Swedish, and everyone was wearing like these white dresses and white shirts and stuff like this, and they had done a lot of beautiful planning within that theme. So we came there and there was a few games planned and we had the music on and everything. And,
originally, the idea of this whole thing is that it's done in like rooms, right?
Yeah.
People do it in rooms, and each room, so each person has like a theme, and they prepare drinks and a game. That's like the three main elements, right?
Okay.
Theme, drinks, and game.
I didn't even know
I
that.
think.
Good to learn live.
But we decided that no one wants to have like a bunch of people in your room.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that would be weird, and I don't want to like clean. My room is like my room. It's like my private space. I don't want. So we decided that we would do it in kitchens, and for some reason someone organized. I have no idea who took the lead on that.
No, me neither.
But I just was like, you want to join? Sure.
Great.
Yeah, so it was like Midsummer. You guys were...
We had corporate hell as our theme, corporate warriors, corporate knights.
Maybe we can insert some pictures.
Yeah, that would be great. We took a lot of good pictures yesterday.
Shout
out Karina from our kitchen.
Yes, and I decided...
She was a good photographer.
And I decided that I want to get a digital camera now. I know everyone has a digital camera now,
yeah.
but, it's great.
Anyone from your kitchen have a camera? I think we had a leftover camera in our kitchen that came from one of you guys. I don't know if that's...
Really? Not from ours. I don't think no one. I think from the Midsummer they had it.
Maybe it was them.
What made you... Okay, no. I was going to ask about corporate hell, but you know what?
No, that's an interesting theme, though. It was clearly the best one from yesterday. I mean, people told us our kitchen was the, This is not a competition, but I feel like it was. Primarily because of the game, because we had invented like a meeting room in the kitchen, which really was just like a blanket that separated one part of the kitchen from another. And then we had this thing where it was like 5 minutes in the meeting room together with 4 other people, and you had to do like a shot every 1 minute. Unfortunately, it was 4 with beer and 1 with vodka. I would have liked for all of them to be with vodka. We have different preferences here. But it was great nonetheless.
I didn't go in that room.
You were definitely in that room. But it was amazing. So, and you guys had what? I mean...
So initially our topic was Venetian night.
Yeah?
But
that's
what happened?
I read in the chat.
What happened?
That's what I expected.
My dream is to have a masquerade ball.
Yeah?
But I was asking, hey guys, I'm gonna buy the masks. Who wants one? And apparently people started bailing and not wanting to participate because the mask was too expensive. Which I get it, like spending like 50 krona for one thing that you just use.
50 kroner?
Yeah, it's not that much, right?
No, it's not. I feel like you're about to make fun of them. You're like, spending 50 krona? I mean, that's such a horrible idea for like a one time. But
I mean, I understand, but
obviously
then don't
we're not
join.
All rich influencers, but I would say 50 krona, you should be able to like spend that on a mask. Come on, guys.
Whatever, I understand whatever reason, but for some reason everyone just ended up looking like fancy, because it was like fancy with a mask, so everyone ended up looking fancy. For some chance, we were all dressed in black, and then like the decor was just some golden curtains and like some balloons, golden and silver, and like...
So you had decoration in your rooms?
Yeah.
Or in your
didn't
kitchen?
See?
No, but we were also, it was the third kitchen. I mean, we'd been partying for 4 hours at that point. Expect me to pay attention to that. It was very dark in your guys' kitchen as well. You're kind of missing the little cute lights in the...
I want to buy that. But the thing is that we decided, okay, this looks like a high school party.
Yeah.
So we wanted, then the theme changed to high school party. But then people were not really feeling it. And then someone like said, okay, let's just bring poker. And then, what about casino? And we asked ChatGPT, confirmed it was a good fit.
Good.
Ended up being
Good that we're honest
casino,
on this
Hollywood
camera.
casino.
ChatGPT is good at generating ideas. Well, not in this case because the theme was not the best, but it was cool. It was good. No, I'm just kidding. But I think it was a great night because I mean, in this case, I feel like I knew quite a lot of people from the kitchen. You, Lorenzo,
it was a great
Diana.
way to like meet different people, honestly.
Yeah, because there was a lot of people we also didn't know in advance.
Yeah,
like people from my kitchen you didn't know.
I didn't know.
Karina, for instance, the photographer.
Yeah.
But also a lot of the, you know, Midsummer girls from that kitchen.
Yeah, definitely.
There was not a single guy from that kitchen, I think. Was there?
I don't think there's a guy in that kitchen. If there's one, he's like hidden or something.
Yeah, he was not there that night.
Are you watching this and you're in the kitchen
Are you?
for 41C?
Escaping the fucking Midsummer theme party. You know, but it was just nice to like get the opportunity of, you know, because when you walk around Umeås, obviously you see a lot of people when you're in the gym and doing this and that, laundry room, whatever, but it's not always you have like the occasion to talk to people, or at least like get to know them on a more deeper level than just saying, are you done with the washing machine? I would definitely recommend that, you know, for other kitchens to take the initiative on such things. I already talked to other kitchens that were like, can we do that next time?
Yeah,
so it was
so nice.
That's a beautiful thing about
Umeås, we also have a lot of a lot of clubs, like cold plunge, running
club, running, biking. I think there's a football team as well. And that's just what we like initiate ourselves. There's also the sort of the formal activities like the quiz nights, the Valentine's party we had, the Christmas party. So for people that don't know this, the community managers obviously that we have here, got to do what you got to do when you live the influencer life. Come on, it is what it is. It's both the formal sort of arrangements and activities, but also what we sort of initiate ourselves. And I think Umeås is a good balance of both, because if everything was organized by them, maybe it wouldn't be the same as if we could also do it
because
ourselves.
I feel like if you know that it's people from us, people like you that took the initiative, maybe you're more prone to joining. I don't know, maybe not. It's cool to be here. I'm happy. I think about it a lot because, for example, when I was living in the Netherlands, I was living alone in my own like studio, but it was not like that this community. It was just like actually just one studio. Actually really liked it a lot, but after leaving the experience that I have lived here, I'm like, I would have missed on so much if I was living alone
here in Denmark,
in my own studio here in Denmark. Sometimes I think about it, you know.
Because it ends up having such a like big impact on also like what you do and who you hang out with, and like I also talk to people who live here and they're like, I've been in Copenhagen for 6 months and I still haven't seen like that much of the city, which I feel like is also the case because one thing, you're just busy, of course, but if you live in a place like this where you can do everything inside, you have the gym here, you have the study hall, you just talk to people here, you hang out here. If you study at CBS like we do and KU, she only said CBS in the beginning because I shared a meme on my Instagram recently, which made her feel like, I don't know. Which made her feel a little bit like, oh, you're dissing my school, right? But I just wanted to put that in there. But if you like study at CBS close to here and you live here, maybe a lot of the things you do happens within this like square mile. But that's also a good thing in the sense that you're like thriving with the people you live with, right? If you were just living in your own studio, maybe you would have seen more of Copenhagen, went out on more trips.
Yeah, maybe.
But it would have been a bit more solo, maybe, like a solo experience. So the good thing about being here is that you're always surrounded by people.
Most of my friends here are from Umeås, actually.
Yeah, in Copenhagen, right? Like, so it becomes like the social sphere, like everyone you hang out with is also from the place you live in.
That's true.
So
I'm excited for
what the future holds, including this podcast.
Yes, I love that we have a rooftop. I'm not in the podcast, but
the rooftop is amazing.
Maybe
we should film an episode at the rooftop next time. Maybe
on the rooftop.
That would be great. You say that's it for the first episode.
We can wrap it up.
Very busy people.
But let us know if there is a specific topic that you want to hear.
Thank you for tuning in, guys. It's been great.
Do we have like a signature goodbye or signature hello?
Can we do the handshake from yesterday?
I have sweaty hands now.
Sweaty hands, okay.
Maybe we can do like...
We'll think about that for next time.
Cheers.
Until then, peace out, guys.
Peace out, guys.